Today we've got the first look at the new Pixel 9 Pro Fold as well as details on its specs, so hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first up, before we check out the phone, we've got the official teaser posted by Google, and this not only confirms that the phone is going to be launching on the 13th of August, but it also confirms that it is going to be called the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Now, to be honest, I preferred the name the Pixel Fold 2, but I guess it fits better into the whole Google ecosystem, and it means that we've now got 4 different versions of the Pixel 9. Now, the trailer also gives us a good look at the design, and it shows us a larger and taller cover display. We've got a slightly new design overall. It shows us thinner bezels on the inside folding display, and it also shows us the rear of the phone, confirming all of the previous leaks were correct. Now, next up, we've got all of the display details thanks to a report from Android Authority, and they've received information from a source inside Google, and it confirms that the outer display is a 6.24-inch display. It's a 120Hz display with a resolution of 1080 by 2424, and this gives us 425 pixels per inch, and it's also got a peak brightness of 1800 nits. Now, you can see that it's a taller aspect ratio than Google's previous Fold, and overall it's a huge improvement to the display. There's even more improvements on the inside display of the Pixel 9 Fold, and we get an 8-inch foldable display with a resolution of 2152 by 2076, and this gives us 374 pixels per inch. And of course, it's a 120Hz display with a peak brightness of 1600 nits. Now, to be fair, the previous Fold was really comfortable to use, so I'm sure the Pixel 9 Fold is going to be even better, and with a bigger, brighter display, we can't really complain. Now, next up, we've got a look at the Pixel 9 Pro Fold in these new renders that I've created, and I've based them from the previous leaks, the new trailer that they've just launched, and I've used the official Pixel wallpapers. But you can see overall we've got a great looking foldable phone, and its larger form factor is going to be great for those of you that do like a larger phone. And of course, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold is going to be launching in black and white, but there's also rumors of bespoke colors such as orange and blue, but these aren't confirmed just yet. You can see from these renders though that we've got a metallic frame that also extends to a small part of the rear, but we've then got a separate rear panel as well. Now, the camera module is also very different to last year, and it's now bunched up into the top corner of the panel. And then on the front, we've got a slightly different shape to the display, but it's now making the most of that space available. And the only detail I couldn't get from Google's official teaser was the cover screen's bezel size, so I've had to make an estimate for these concepts. Now, one thing that is worrying for the Pixel 9 Fold series is the pricing leak, and some leaks have suggested a launch price of $1,799 or £1,750, and this brings it very close to Samsung's new Fold 6. And just looking at the specs on paper, of course, Samsung does have some huge advantages. It's got things like IP48 resistance, it's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and 2600 nits of peak brightness on the display. But then, of course, if we look at the Pixel 9 Pro's advantages from what we know, we've got a larger form factor, we've got a slightly higher resolution for the displays, and we could even get better camera performance, but as always, we can't judge it from the specs on paper, so we're going to have to wait until the phone is launched to see. Now, the Pixel 9 Fold is of course going to be powered by the Tensor G4 chipset, and it's not as good in terms of raw performance as the latest flagship chipsets like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but it is geared towards AI and it's going to work well with the Pixel lineup. Now, the Pixel 9 Fold is going to be packed full of plenty of AI features, and the same as the Pixel 9, so I'm excited to see what new features they've got in store for us. But for those excited for the Pixel 9 Fold, we're now going to run through the full specs, design, and the expected pricing to help you guys decide if it is worth the wait. So make sure you hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So with the Pixel 9 Fold, we're getting a 6.24-inch cover display. It's going to be a 120Hz OLED display protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2. We get a resolution of 1080 by 2424, which gives us 425 pixels per inch, and the peak brightness is going to be 1800 nits. Now, we also get a big upgrade to the internal folding display with a new 8-inch 120Hz foldable OLED display. It's got a resolution of 2152 by 2076, giving us 374 pixels per inch, and it's got a peak brightness of 1600 nits. We of course get 2 selfie cameras on the Pixel 9 Fold. We've got one on the cover display and then one on the inside display. We're hoping to see an upgrade to a 10.5 megapixel selfie camera for the cover display, and there are a few rumors floating around of an under-display camera on the inside. When it comes to the rear cameras, we're expecting a 50 megapixel wide angle as the primary camera, with multi-zone laser autofocus, dual pixel phase detect autofocus and optical stabilization. For the ultra wide, we're expecting a 48 megapixel camera with dual pixel phase detect autofocus. And then for the telephoto, we're expecting a 48 megapixel with optical image stabilization and 5x optical zoom. There is of course a fourth sensor, and we don't know exactly what it is at the moment, but it's likely to be a time of flight sensor or a temperature sensor. It's going to be powered by the new Tensor G4 chipset from Google. While it doesn't have the raw CPU performance of the latest Snapdragon chipset, it's still a perfectly capable chipset and it's great for AI performance. We get 16GB of DDR5 RAM along with a choice of 256, 512 or even 1TB of storage, and this will be UFS 4. And then when it comes to the battery, we're estimating something around 5000 mAh battery, and while fast charging is still currently unknown, it will support wired and wireless charging. We of course get 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, ultra wideband and Wi-Fi 7, and it's going to be shipping with the latest version of Android 15. It's launching from around $1,800 or £1,750, and it's launching on the 13th of August alongside the Pixel 9, the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So overall, the Pixel 9 Fold is looking like a huge change from its predecessor, with a big upgrade to the chipset and a major overhaul on the design. To be honest, the Pixel Fold 1 was a great form factor and I really liked using it, but the design as a whole did seem to be a bit more of a prototype. The Pixel 9 Fold, however, changes all of that with some modern looking trimmed down bezels, and I think the release is really going to help Google compete in the foldable market, and Google are no doubt working hard on the software to make it as optimized as possible, which should be much easier with the new aspect ratio, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what new AI features come on the Pixel 9 Fold. Now, one area that Google always shine is on the camera, and especially on the software side, so hopefully we're going to get a folding phone that still takes incredible photos and videos, and of course Google are no good at keeping anything a secret anymore, and leaks are coming flooding in, so I'm sure we're going to have a full unboxing soon enough, and of course as anything new comes in I'm going to be sharing it straight away, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.